How can you make money from a brand new Shopify store on day one? Hey everyone, welcome to a new video. My name is Chris Wane, and in this one I'm going to be showing and I'm going to be talking to you about how you can make sales on the very first day of your Shopify store, even as a beginner. This is probably one of the easiest methods that you can actually do. Now, for those of you that know about me and have followed this channel for a while, you know I'm all about Facebook ads. That's what I push. That is what I teach within my academy to my students. It's all about Facebook ads, and the reason for that is Facebook ads have that longevity. Instagram influencers, they're just sort of like there for that moment, for that day or two, you will get sales from it. But after that, you don't really have much to go off. But at the beginning, I did spend money on influencers. That's what I reached out for, because influencers were the big thing when I first started. And it was very much a case of, can I get on this? Can I promote a product by paying someone to put it on their Instagram account? And then that's what I'm going to talk to you about in this video, because I made a lot of mistakes with that at the beginning and I learned from them. So I'm going to tell you about it now so you can find the best influencers and what you need to be looking for if you're going to be paying for posts on an account. So like I said, I focused on Facebook ads because that's where the consistent sales comes from. But if you're looking for like a quick buck, for a quick kind of cash grab, then influencers are great, because over say like a 3-day period, you're going to get sales from it, especially if you pick the right influencer and put the right product on that page. People will come to your store and they will buy from you. So, I've seen people getting upwards of $15,000, $20,000 in a day just from influencer shout outs. It's crazy really, how much money there is with influencers. But what you'll see is you'll get this spike and then it'll just plummet and you won't get anything, So that's when you move into Facebook ads, and I go through that in a little bit more detail later in this video. So by the end of this video, you're going to know how to find influencers, and more specifically, how to know if they are even worth contacting, because there are a lot of scammers out there, a lot of fake accounts with just like fake followers. So I'm going to be telling you and showing you how you can find out if an account is even worth your time to contact in the first place. So make sure you stick around to the end, because the information in this video could be the difference between you making money or you losing money. And we all know we don't want to be losing money. So before we get into the content, can I ask that you just drop a quick like on this video? It really helps with the YouTube algorithm, really helps me get out there and get my message across to people. So if you like the content, just drop me a like, because it really does help me out. So the first point I want to let you know about is it's always a good idea to reach out to influencers before you actually have a product ready to go. Now that might seem a little bit counterintuitive, but you don't want to spend time building a store and finding your product, doing all your product description, all your ads, to then go out to an influencer and find that you can't actually promote it because there's nobody who wants to promote it. There's nothing in your price range. So it's worthwhile going out and actually speaking to influencers before you even have that product ready, because not only will that allow you to find those influencers and know you have an option to promote the product, it'll also give you kind of that little push to actually build what you need to build, because you've already got something lined up. And the reason I say that is some influencers are just too big. So let's just say you're in the beauty niche and you try and reach out to someone who's a big beauty influencer and they don't get back to you. Yeah, and everybody else you're reaching out to doesn't really show you any interest, or the prices are just out of your range, or it's not really what you're looking for. The engagement on their page is too low. It's not worth your time. Then all the effort you've gone to in actually creating that store, creating that ad, creating that product, getting all your product description sorted, it's going to be a waste of time, because you're not going to be able to promote that. So make sure you have your Instagram influencers lined up before you even think about trying to sell that product. So the trick to finding a good influencer is their engagement level. Now, what you can do is you can head over to a website called tanker.fr, I think it is, or Tanky, or something like that. I'm not really sure. But within that, you have this little sort of Instagram influencer sort of engagement calculator here. So you can type something in here. So let's just say if we were typing in The Rock. I really like The Rock, so let's just have a look what The Rock is. So this is going to bring back The Rock's engagement rate. Now, Rock's got one of the highest following sort of Instagram pages in the world, but his engagement rate is quite low, because due to his following, he doesn't get that many average comments and likes based on the amount of people that follow him. So his engagement rate is actually 2%. Now, if you're going to be looking for influencers, you want to be looking for influencers that have at least a 3% engagement rate. Now, we know The Rock is a massive brand. If somebody did put something on his channel, then they are going to get a lot of traffic, because that's just the way it is. It's The Rock. But when you're reaching out for smaller influencers, you need to have a decent engagement rate. So let's just say we'll look for dog lovers. So dog lovers here. So this is dog lovers has got So just under 75,000 followers, but again, it's only a 2% engagement rate. So that's quite a low one. If we say search for Kylie Jenner, now Kylie Jenner is obviously massive, but if you look at her engagement rate, even though she's got a ridiculous amount of followers, her engagement rate is 6%, which is really good for that kind of size of a page. So you want to be analyzing these different accounts to find out which ones are going to be worth you contacting. Now, obviously, you're not going to be going for The Rock. You're not going to be going for Kylie Jenner because they obviously charge millions of dollars for posts on their pages. You want to be going for people who are what are called micro influencers in a sense. So a way of doing that is to search for what you're interested in on Instagram itself. So let's just say you were in the, I don't know, let's say you were in the dog niche, right? And you were going to put in something like dogs. We'll just search the hashtag dogs of Instagram, and we're going to find some pages. So let's have a look at this one. So this one's got like 9,000 likes, so we can have a look. So if we go to Puppy Lovings, you can see here that the Puppy Lovings has got 800,000 followers, which is a decent size for an Instagram influencer. So we just take their handle there and type it in here. So our engagement rate is 3%, which is quite good for that size of a page. So this could potentially be a page that you could reach out to. So let's just see if there's actually, if you look here, someone's actually done a shout out on that page for these dog collars. So someone has reached out to this page and asked them to talk about these dog collars. So they've done a post on here. Let's have a look at this. So let's see. We've got a few comments, nothing crazy on it. It wasn't that great, but it looks quite recent if you look within the last 24 hours on here. It's within the last 24 hours. So it's got 2,000 likes. It's got 10 comments. Probably not the best. But again, the ad isn't that great, really. It's a bit dark on the page. You probably do a little bit better of an ad on that. But you get the idea. You can reach out to these and you can do it. There's another one here, free corgi plush. Let's have a look at this. So this was on for a while. So this was on since October 12th. A little bit better, but there isn't many comments on that. But if you find a page like this, what you can actually do is if you come up to the top here, you can click this little down arrow, and this is going to give you other Instagram accounts that are similar to the page you're on. So you can open all these up into new tabs, and this will let you go through them and have a look to see if they're any better. So let's just open up these three. If I go in here, so it's got 581,000. Let's just copy that and have a look. So this has got 5% engagement rate. So this is a really good kind of page to look at. So if you were in the dog niche and this is something you were looking at, you could look at reaching out to these guys here. Let's say you're just going to have to DM these because they don't actually have an email address, but you could actually send them a message and just ask them, how much does it cost for a shout out? Kind of promote products on your page. They're going to come back to you with a price and what they can do, whether it be on their story, whether it's a page post itself here. But then you can negotiate with them and get that best price. But you can do this with any sort of niche. So if you're in the beauty niche, if you're in the fitness niche, if you're in anything that could be potentially on Instagram, you can do the same method as this. Try and check their engagement, see if it's higher than 3%, and then reach out to them. If you're selling a product that's a little bit more general, you can start looking for, say, like meme pages. So look at things that aren't specifically around the niche, they just do something quite general. You can reach out to them and do exactly the same thing for them. Try and find meme pages that are similar to them and search the engagement rate. And if their engagement is higher than 3%, then you can reach out to them and ask them how much it is for a shout out. If they have an email address for collaborations within the bio, always email them. Don't try and DM them because they have that email address there for a reason. So reach out to them through email. If they don't have an email, if they don't have any contact information, then make sure you just DM them and go through it that way. When it comes to personal brands, actually people who say like models or something like that, they are probably going to end up charging a lot more because it's their image, it's their brand, as opposed to something where they're just posting pictures of dogs or pictures of memes. If they're an actual branded person and they're, say, like a model or an actor or something like that, that probably will cost you a little bit more. You may even have to send the product to them as well because they're not going to really post a product on their Instagram page if every other picture is just them. They're not going to have a random photo in the middle of all their pictures of themselves. So it's not going to happen. So what you might have to do is send them the product so they can wear it, they can show it within an actual post on their page so it fits in with the overall theme of their Instagram account. Generally, what usually happens is you might get, say, like a page post for 24 hours, you'll get a story for 24 hours. The prices of how much that would cost you will vary depending on the type of account and how popular it is. But what generally happens is once that product goes live, you will just start seeing sales straight away. As long as the product is good, there's a good engagement on the actual Instagram account and your store is trustworthy, people are going to come to it and they're going to buy from you. And you should see massive spikes in your sales if everything's done right. But what that allows you to do is it allows you to get that initial traction on your store. Whereas with Facebook ads, obviously you have to test this, you have to test that, you have to test different audiences. Whereas with Instagram influencers, what you're doing is you're basically going straight to your target audience and having that sort of native community focus on the ad. Like I always talk about, try and make your ads more native and more like it's coming from someone else rather than you as a company trying to sell it. And there's nothing better than that than using an Instagram influencer. And that's why influencers are so powerful, because it doesn't feel like you're being sold to. It feels like you're being recommended a product. And that's key with it. As long as you can recommend a product to a customer, they're more likely to buy it than if you're trying to sell that product to them. Once you start getting those visits, once you start getting those sales, you can move on to Facebook ads and you can start to create those custom audiences off the back of your visitors and your purchases, your add to carts, everything like that. And then start building lookalikes off the back of that and start running ads through Facebook then, back onto the Facebook platform, back onto Instagram, start running your ads using that data you've collected from those influencers and start scaling it massively through Facebook ads. There's nothing to say that you can't go back to other influencers as well. You could send it to one influencer and that'd be great. You can rinse their page, they'll come back, get all your visitors from their page, make some sales, go to another influencer in the same sort of industry, reach out to them and just keep reaching out to a bunch of different influencers, especially if you see traction, you see sales on that first one, because obviously it is working. So the more people you can send out this product to, the more pages you can get this on, the more eyeballs you get it on, and eventually the more profit you make. So give it a go, see what you think. If you're struggling for money for Facebook ads, Instagram shout outs are really good to getting started, getting that traction and getting going with it. So hopefully you found that useful. If you did, please make sure you drop me a like, because it really does help with the YouTube algorithm and I really do appreciate it. I love seeing all your comments, all your likes and everything. It makes me want to carry on doing this. So if you found this useful, please drop me that like. It really does help me out. If you have any questions about Instagram influencers, if you're not sure about anything, please leave me a comment down below. I'm answering everything still. As you all know, I respond to pretty much every single question that comes through, whether it's within the first hour, whether it's in the first week, whether it's from videos months ago, I'm still responding to anything new that's coming through. So make sure you drop me a comment down there. Let me know what you're struggling with. Let me know what you want to see in the future. And hopefully we can get that going for you as well. I've actually just launched a brand new Facebook group. So if you want to get in there, the Dropshipping Masterminds link is just down in the description below. So make sure you check that out. It's completely free. Just go in there and you can ask questions and get some help down in there to do with dropshipping or anything to do with e-com. I'm in and out of there throughout the day. So if you have any questions or anything, make sure you get involved. And we're trying to grow a community. We're trying to get this going and really help each other out. Finally, if you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Everyone says it, but it really does help me out. We're climbing up, we're getting that big number. I want to hit that 10K this side of Christmas. It's going to be a big ask, but it'd be really nice to hit 10,000 subs before Christmas. So if you are new, please help me out. Hit that subscribe button and we can start getting more content out to you. But that's the end of this one. Hope you enjoyed it. I'll catch you in the next one.